Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fieldhouse here at Portsmouth High School for tonight's matchup between the 4-5 Portsmouth Patriots and the 9-1 Classical Purple. I'm Gavin Bichot alongside Dan Shea, and the Classical Purple come in #1 team in Division I. The Patriots are definitely going to have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, certainly a big test for the Patriots. Came into a game against a tough Hendricken team earlier this week. They were able to hang tough. That one came right down to the wire, neck and neck throughout. I think they proved a lot, not just to other teams in Division I, but to themselves in that game to show that they can hang with these top teams. Hopefully, they can take that mentality into this one against Classical.
Starters for each team. For the road Classical Purple, #2 Marquise Buchanan. #11, Elijah Nyakun. #15, Azzy Harrison. #4, Alexis Del Judas. And #13, Everson St. Frank. And for Portsmouth, #1, Calvin Lucenti. #3, Jack Downing. #5, Neil Tolson. #12, Luke Brennan. And #20, Jeff Brady. As Del Judas gets the scoring off, going off quick and early, take a 2-0 lead for the Patriots. As Brennan, great pass down low to Downing and makes the finish fair. Ties the game up at 2. Something we saw against Hendricken in their last matchup. Portsmouth moving the ball with a little bit of pace in them and getting a lot of layups down low.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of aggressive defense in that game against Hendricken. I would say probably the most aggressive defense Portsmouth has seen this season. We saw Classical come out early with the traps. We'll see if they take a page out of Bishop Hendricken's book there.
And the pass from Buchanan is going to sail out of the reach of St. Frank, so it'll be a turnover already for the Purple. Maybe the Patriots ball. 1,000-point scorer Benny Hurd will start tonight on the bench due to disciplinary action from Coach Joe Ochi. As Brady finds his junior Tolson down low, up and under. Gets the good go. Great finish there from Tolson. And the Portsmouth got 2 nice shots to start the game and find themselves up 2 early on in this one.
Yeah, great job to hang in the air and finish that one from the birthday boy, Neil Tolson, to give Portsmouth a nice early lead.
Nyakun forced to kick it out. The lefty Del Judas from downtown can't get it to fall, and there's Jack Downing with the rebound. Del Judas averaging 15 a game. Senior for this Classical Purple team had 18 points in a victory over Mount Pleasant a few days ago. Again, this Classical team has played near flawless all year long. The only blemish in a 24-point loss to LaSalle. Besides that, they've taken down anything in their path. As Downing loses control, and here comes the Purple. And there's Buchanan finishing with the layup, and now to the score back up at 4, 2 minutes in to this first quarter as Benny Hurd heads to the scores table for Portsmouth. Buchanan, a URI football commit and football Gatorade Player of the Year. So quite the athlete he is.
Yeah, certainly.
As senior Benny Hurd will check back in for the first time this game for Neil Tolson. Hurd averaging 14 points a game and had 18 points his last time out in a loss versus Hendricken, and what was a really good game between the two teams. Lucenti finds baseline, looks for Hurd, and the ball's on the floor. Both teams fighting for it. It's going to be a jump ball and possession arrow points towards the Patriots.
And you can see right there the length of St. Frank doing big things for Classical. Stepping into that passing lane there, Lucenti was going to have Brennan for a great look at a corner 3, but just those long arms are going to get in the way.
Hurd working on Buchanan. Looking for space. Brady, the jump shot. Back iron, no good. And here comes Nyakun for the Purple. Buchanan going strong to the lane, and very athletic Buchanan is, gets the layup to go. There's a 6-4 advantage for the road Purple, and one of these keys to a win for Portsmouth, they must need to do. They got to stop the big 3 of Buchanan, Del Judas, and Harrison, who have averaged 43 points a game for the Purple. In their low loss to Sal, they combined for only 21 points. So those 3 have really been the main catalysts for this classical team and have been what's got them to 9-1 so far.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of similar to what we saw at the end of that game against Hendricken last week. Hendricken clearly had identified that Hurd and Lucenti were our two big scorers. They were sending tons of pressure at them, and it completely changed that game for us offensively. So if Portsmouth can do something similar to those big contributors for classical, it could swing this game in their favor.
Another key to victory I have in my stat book here is create easy points, and I did that just there. Found Brennan wide open on the block on an inbounds play, and doesn't get much easier than that as Portsmouth ties it back up at 6.
Yep, great cut by Brennan, well-designed play. As you said, just a nice, easy basket for the Patriots.
Harrison fires from downtown and gets that one to go. That's his first 3 of the night, as well as his first points. Halfway through his first quarter, and it's the Purple leading 9-6. Brady's going strong with the left hand, a little too strong there on the layup off the glass. Here comes St. Franck. Buchanan will slow it down a little bit as both teams seem to be trying to pick up the pace as Del Judas loses the grip against the back. Layup can't fall. Ball sits out of bounds. It will stay with Classical. As Portsmouth in their home white candy cane uniforms, red lettering, navy blue trim, and the away Classical purple are in. No shot here, but their purple road uniforms, black trim and white lettering. As the Yaku's shot is short, and good defense there by Brennan has Portsmouth, the team that likes to run up court and up the tempo, is doing that so far in the first 5 minutes of play here. Hurd thought about the 3-ball.
Oh, great move.
The ball will stay here with the Patriots. 17 on the shot clock, 3:07 left to go in this first quarter. Not a foul yet committed by either team, so something to look out for as Downing really had a shot there, passed it up. He'll turn around, go up strong, and they're not going to call a foul. They look like he might have got hit on
it
the
looks like
arm.
a little contact there, but what I'm seeing early from Classical, that size of their lineup is making a big impact on this game. We saw it. Hurd trying to get the shot up earlier, gets blocked. We saw it back on the offensive glass that last possession, just tons of guys going for the rebounds, just out-hustling Portsmouth.
Under 10 to go, and Brady was up strong, and again looks like he might have got hit there. Yaku might have gotten away with a hold on Brady as Yaku's shot is in and out, but it seems as these refs are letting the kids play tonight. There's been no fouls for the two teams, and for 2 and a half minutes left to go in this first quarter, so. Brennan drives baseline, his floater is no good.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it looked like there was maybe a bump there as Brennan went up for that shot. I think he was expecting the whistle, but refs really letting him play here.
As Judas takes an extra step there on the rip through, he'll be calling for a travel, and number 23, Henry Rodriguez, will come in. Number 23, Henry Rodriguez will come in for number 12, Luke Brennan, and for the Classical Purple, number 3, Jordan Duke will come in for the Purple. Classical playing a man-to-man that's very quick to switch on their defenders as Lucenti fires one from downtown. That one's long, no good as we reach the 2-minute mark left in this first quarter. Something about this Classical length, it makes them eligible to switch on any single defender. And makes it very easy to play defense and not losing a man at St. Franck. Good move there, but his shot is way off.
Yeah, the quick switching of Classical has definitely made things a lot more difficult for Portsmouth on the offensive end. Unless they can start hitting their jumpers consistently, something's going to need to change there. Kick ball by Brady.
And number 3, Jack Downing, will take a seat for number 12, Luke Brennan. Odd call there. No one really had possession. But nonetheless, a kick ball on Jeff Brady, and we'll see a 1-3-1 defense here from Portsmouth, something they've pulled out early on in games in the past couple weeks, and it's helped in their favor. There's Harrison in the corner for three. No good. Rebound by Lucenti. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Classical leads 9-6 as Brady goes strong to lane and gets fouled there. The first foul between the two teams as he gets hit going on the way up. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, pretty late call on that one as well. I was going to be real surprised if Brady didn't draw the foul there. Great move to kind of pivot back inside as he caught that pass, get a better lane to the basket, and could get some big points for Portsmouth, yeah.
Brady's shot will fall. He went 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 14 free throws in that third quarter for the Patriots. He continues that streak as he looks to make the second here and bring this game within one. He will do just that. So 9-8, 56 seconds to go. It seems as Classical definitely is in control, but Portsmouth not far behind.
Yeah, I mean, Portsmouth's hanging tough here. This is very similar to how the Hendricken game started, where, they've just been able to go back and forth with them as far as the offensive production. They just got to hope they don't surrender one of those big runs and let this thing get out of hand.
20 seconds difference between the shot and game clock. St. Frank from the corner, no good. So he's taking two deep balls, and both have not looked the best, as there goes Roderick's. Up with the right hand and gets the go, and Portsmouth retakes the lead. 10-9, 20 seconds left, shot clock turned off here, so Hurd the steal. Layup reverse, no good. As Brennan gets the rebound, puts it up, will get fouled there. I was about to say, no matter what happened there with Classical in that last shot, or what you think would be the last shot, you would say a great quarter from the Patriots. They've lost a couple close ones in the last two games, and again, Classical 9-1, so to be up one or in the same realm with one possession after a quarter is a great job by the Patriots, but Hurd with the steal, the Patriots can extend their lead to as much as 3 here in the first quarter as it winds down. Yeah, a bit of a careless pass by the quarterback. Buchanan there gets intercepted by Hurd. Would have been a tough finish wrapping around like that. We know he's hit those before, but, just a great job by his teammates, Roderick and Brennan, to be right there with him, ready to get the rebounds, get some more second chances. Azzy Harrison will take a seat for the Classical Purple as there's now 6 on the clock. Yakun dishing it to Del Judas. I don't think he sees the clock. Throws up a half-court shot. It's not going to be good. Looked like Del Judas lost set the time there as the clock was winding down to its final ticks there. But great quarter from the home Patriots. Up 12-9. We'll be back in a minute for second quarter action. We're back for second quarter action here in Portsmouth. The Patriots lead 12-9, and as I mentioned earlier in the game, the big three of Buchanan, Del Judas, and Harrison are going to be, or have been key the whole year for this Classical team, and it seems as Portsmouth has limited them to just a few amount of points, and it's helped in their favor in a 12-3 lead. It's a 12-9 lead. Yeah, I would say that the lack of production for them has definitely been a big part of Portsmouth being able to take this lead. The Classical offense hasn't looked as potent as usual thus far, but I would say things can quickly change in that regard. So Portsmouth looks like they're going to a 2-3 defense now. They're in the 1-3-1 to end the first quarter as Del Judas tries his luck from downtown. Won't go. Tough fight there, and the possession area will point to the home Patriots, so solid defensive possession for Portsmouth right out of the gate here in the second quarter. up 3 points.
Yeah, and I think part of it defensively for Portsmouth, they've just sort of lucked out here with the lack of outside shooting from Classical. They've taken a lot of threes early, haven't made many of them. I think just one so far, so that's been a big break for Portsmouth.
No look pass there to Brady, and he finishes with the jump shot. So Portsmouth extending their lead to 5 to go on to a point then. Azzy Harrison, who is on the bench at the moment, he leads the team with 14 3-point makes. He's only shot 1 all day.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw they were probably looking to get him a look as they subbed him in late in that first half with the clock running out, but not a ton there from Classical as Buchanan misses another one here.
Buchanan hits the fall, and there's a fight for the ball on the ground, and it looks like the junior Brennan has it, and here come the Patriots up court. Hurd on St. Frank. He'll slow things down a little bit and reset up top. And Del Judas touches the pass from Buchanan, and will be an easy finish there.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one there defensively from Brennan. I think when that ball was first thrown, he was thinking he could pick that one off pretty easily. Kind of hesitated a second, realized that ball was over his head.
Hurd finds baseline, goes up strong, and it's like a big hit there from number 3, Jordan Duke, the freshman. So that'll set Hurd in line to shoot 2. His first one hits all net, and will extend the Patriots lead as Luke Brennan will check out for Neil Tolson. So we'll see what Classical tries to do. Down 5. Portsmouth has played good defense. They've created turnovers, and they've fought for the ball down low on rebounds. It's really just been a case of Classical not hitting their shots. And I definitely agree that as lengthy and as big as Classical is, as offensive foul is called on Hurd. I was about to say, though, as big as Classical is, this more physical type of game that the refs are allowing definitely is in favor of the Patriots, a smaller team that can be a little more handsy down low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so. And you saw it on that last couple possessions ago, that loose ball that Brennan was able to come up with. Definitely a lot of contact from both teams there. Refs let it go, and the scrappy Brennan is able to come up with it.
Buchanan, great pass there to Yakun, and he hits the first 3 of the night for the Purple to bring the game within 2 here. Portsmouth still leads, though, by 2, 16-14. As Vicente, who's been playing great basketball in the last 5 games, hasn't gotten his name up in the box score yet. Hurd, spin move, and finishes. What a play from Hurd. Smooth to the rack, and gets the fall. Portsmouth goes up 4, 18-14. As good as Hurd, as easy as these shots look for Hurd, nothing comes easy for him.
No, definitely not. That was just a great finish there to, weave through the defenders. Great spin move, and, as you said right there, made it look easy.
Yaku throws the ball. 3 on the shot clock. As St. Frank fires from deep. No good. That's his 3rd missed 3 ball of the night.
And a great job by Portsmouth there on that possession. Very quick to close out the shooters. Classical had a couple good looks, but the Patriots were right too fast.
Well, when Benny Hurd finds a lane and puts his head down, there's not much you can do, and shows right there as he gets the rack, and Portsmouth extends their lead to 6 here against Classical. And the pass from St. Frank is tipped, and the Patriots are dominating on the turnover battle right now, and it has been very key early on in this one. Roderick goes up strong, gets him to go. Energy here for Portsmouth is definitely up. as the momentum is back on their side. Buchanan for three. Can't get it to go, and the rebound controlled by the Patriots, and they're looking to run the ball up the court with some tempo. Hurd again to lane. Blocked by the freshman Duke. And Buchanan takes the other way and gets the layup to go. Looked like Hurd had a lane, but Duke closed that one down quick.
Yeah, big play there by Duke results in a 4-point swing for Classical. Portsmouth, though, still with the momentum, looking to extend the lead here.
As Hurd pump fakes, like Duke might have gotten away with a blocking foul there. Lucenti for three. Gets it to go. Everything's hitting for the Patriots so far, especially in the second quarter. They find themselves up 9, 25-16 against the best team in Division I.
Yeah, biggest lead of the game for either side here. Portsmouth definitely starting to find a rhythm, especially on offense. Looking like a completely different team here. We'll see how long this can continue.
Buchanan's pass will be out of the reach of Duke. And it'll be out of bounds, so another turnover for the Purple. And for Portsmouth, Jack Downing comes in for Henry Rodericks. And for the Purple, number 5, Abdul Ibiyemi comes in for the first time, as well as number 23, Tyler Lee, the sophomore, checks in for his first minutes of the night. Portsmouth trying to get their lead to double digits here. Lucenti puts the floater up, no good. Ball tipped around, it will stay here. Good fight there from Brady. And looked like coming up with the Patriots will be number 24, Evan Beasy, but Brady down low. Had a taller man on him, fought for the ball. Gets the benefit of the call and will stay here with the forced ball.
Yep, and interesting call here for Portsmouth to bring in Beasy, taking their tallest player and Brady off the court, but that physicality from Beasy to bring off the Patriots down low is Lucenti once again just making it look easy with that smooth jumper.
Portsmouth back in the 1-3-1 with Beasy in the middle there, and then Lucenti with the steal. He has no numbers. Finds Downing down low, and they're going to say Downing stepped on the line again. I feel like Downing could have gotten a bump call his way there, driving to the rack. And Abdul Imiyemi will come out. And number 14, Jez Polanco will come in for his first minutes of the game for a Classical. And Lee, his pass is almost too tall for Polanco. Buchanan trying to draw the foul on Lucenti and still hits a tough jumper over Lucenti.
Yeah, you could see he definitely wanted the and one there. I can kind of understand that one, but man, what a shot hanging in the air like that.
Hurd will pump fake, gets around Lee. Good shot there. Can't get it to go, and Beasy fighting for that one. That was what they call out of bounds on Beasy. He did not establish this
that one as he was moving out. But
exactly, yeah.
By Beasy there.
So Buchanan will bring the ball up as we reach under a minute here in this first half. Pushes up 27-18 here. As we saw in that last possession, Portsmouth is very content with letting Classical do a lot of cross-court passes and make them settle for the outside shots and did a good job against Buchanan, but just made a better shot, better offense against great defense.
Yeah, really not much you can do defensively there if you're Portsmouth. That's just some great offense from Buchanan.
33 seconds left on the clock as Downing is fouled. There's an 8-second difference between shot and game clock, and it looks like number 20, Jeff Brady, will check in here.
And maybe a bit of a makeup call there for Downing, as we were talking about before, getting the bump on the sideline. They called him out of bounds. Looked like a similar play there this time. Number 3 for Portsmouth gets the benefit of the doubt.
So Brady will replace Beasy, as the shot clock will turn off because of the foul call. So 33.7 on the clock. And you hear the Portsmouth coaches yelling for the one shot. Again, we've seen it many times, not done right. We've seen a lot of teams force some shots they don't really need. With still time on the clock, and whether it's been Portsmouth gotten the benefit of the doubt or the away team getting points at a premium down in the game clock when you don't need to.
Yeah, Portsmouth just wants to make sure they don't lose track of the clock here. We saw that a lot for Hendricken in that game and saw it earlier here for Classical.
Hurd, 5 on the clock. Finds Brennan, the lefty, fires from 3, no good. Downing puts it back up at the buzzer and gets it to go. What a rebound and play to end a great first half for the Patriots. They lead 29-18. And again, what was a great half for the home Patriots, exactly what they needed coming off a close loss against Henderson. They find themselves up 11 against number 1 team in Division I. We'll be back in a few after the Portsmouth High School cheerleaders to get you ready for the second half of play as you see the frustration from the classical coaching staff. We'll be back in a few for second half play. And we are back for second half action here in Portsmouth. It's the Patriots up 29-18. So a great first half for Portsmouth. Take a look at the leaders for the Patriots. They're led by Benny Hurd. He had 6 points. Lucenti had 5. And then Jack Downing, Jeff Brady, Luke Brennan, and Henry Rodgers had 4 each for the Patriots. And for Classical, leading the way is Marquise Buchanan with 8 points. Alexis Del Judas with 4. And that big three, as I mentioned before, has 15 total points. So they're below that average of, I think it was 43 a game. They're on pace for 30. So Portsmouth doing their job so far against those three.
And, I mean, at the end of that first half, it was clear the offensive struggles we were seeing for Classical. They were getting sloppy. They turned the ball over far more frequently than the Patriots, and we saw the frustration at the end of the half from the coaching staff. It'll be interesting to see how they come out here. Early turnover, not a great sign.
No, definitely not. We saw the Classical coach get on his team as they were going to the locker room, tell him to pick up the pace, and really showed some anger there and his frustrations. And it seems that it just boils over into that turnover to start, which is not what you want for Classical.
Yeah, definitely.
Downing loves the pass fake. 10 on the shot clock. And they might call Lucenti the travel. Yes, they will. So back-to-back turnovers to start this second half. Take a look at the road ahead for these teams. For Portsmouth, their upcoming games, they play Friday at East Greenwich. Next Monday, they go on the road to take on the Thunderbolts of Cranston East. And next Wednesday, they go on the road to take on LaSalle. So a little road trip for the Patriots. And for Classical, this Friday, they go on the road to Cumberland. Next Monday, they host North Kingstown. And next Wednesday, they host Westerly as the Purple get their first points of the half here. Now a 9-point game in favor of the home Patriots. This game will definitely be huge for Portsmouth. If they can get a win here, get back to 500 as they go on to a 3-game road trip. As Hurd checks from downtown and will hit the top rope and will go to Classical. So Portsmouth 0 for 2 on their first 2 possessions here.
Yeah, and I mean, things are still at a point right now for Portsmouth, 9-point lead. Things are comfortable, but, you know, they really can't afford to take their foot off the gas against a team as talented as Classical. A lot of the success for Portsmouth defensively just came off of Classical missing some good looks, especially from 3. You can't expect that to continue all game.
As Nyakun hits the first 3 ball of the half, as you said, Dan, he's got to start hitting some shots, and maybe this game will turn into their favor, and that 3 could be a sign of things to change here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, went right with what I was saying. Classical, you know, they're bound to start making some shots, so Portsmouth can't afford to just kind of take things easy here and hope to rest on that big first half lead.
As you can, and great pass to St. Frank. He goes up strong. Brady got a hand on it, but Nyakun took that. St. Frank was still able to finish as Portsmouth took a full timeout here, up 4, 29-25. So we'll be back in a minute. Back from timeout here. Portsmouth up 4, so Classical has trimmed that 11-point lead down to 4. Definitely the start the Classical Purple want here in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, Portsmouth was riding high coming into halftime. A quick 7-0 run from the Purple has maybe served as a bit of reality check for the Patriots, showing them, you know, they are the #1 seed in the state right now. For a reason, Portsmouth is going to have to keep the intensity high if they want to hang on for a win.
As Jack Downing will turn the ball over, and it looks like the Tide Tap turn. We saw Classical turn it over a lot in that first half. Now it's the Patriots, already 3 of them. Only 3 minutes into the second half, as the ball will stay here after an offensive rebound from Classical. Buchanan calling for the ball and calling a play up for Portsmouth, for Classical rather. Buchanan calling his own number, goes to the right hand and finishes and extends that Classical run to 9-0. Definitely off the start Portsmouth had hoped coming out of the break up 11, now only up 2 here.
Yeah, the offense looking a little flat-footed for Portsmouth here. They're going to need some of their guys to step up, start answering this Classical attack with some points of their own.
Brady will take that turnaround jump shot every day of the week and gets the fall, and shows why. As he scores Portsmouth's first points of the half, 3.5 minutes in. Nyaku from the corner. No good. Long rebound controlled by Classical. Frustration brewing at the Portsmouth side. As Buchanan's pass is tipped out and stolen by Brady as Portsmouth shifted back into a 2-3. Bird thought about the 3-ball, passed it up to Downing. Good kick over to the corner for Brennan. He gets a go. Hits the 3 from the corner, and great find by Downing to find the junior Brennan in the corner. They're shooting that arrow on that Portsmouth bench. They're up 7, 34-27. So as momentum looks to swing largely in favor to Classical, Portsmouth grabs it back with a bucket and a 3-ball.
Yeah, and after just a couple possessions, you hoped that little turnaround jumper by Brady to get Portsmouth their first points would be the sort of icebreaker they need to get the confidence back offensively. Couple turnovers from Classical, a big 3 by Brennan, and Portsmouth can jump right back out to that big lead.
Lucenti goes hard with the left hand, can't get it to fall. As Buchanan up court, his pass is out of his reach. He tries to save it and does. Great play there. And this is what they're going to call an offensive. Yep. They're going to call an illegal screen.
Trying to call a 3-second.
3 second. Ref said, gotta get out of there. I thought St. Frank might have came by on a defender.
A bit disappointed with the call. Definitely a backbreaker on a fast break there.
Lucenti's pass. Little confusion with the call here. Buchanan's making his case to the referee, but it will stay Portsmouth, so Patriots get a lucky break there and see if they can capitalize. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Hurd goes strong with the right hand and gets it to go. That was hit on the rim for a little bit. Knocks the lucky bounce off the glass and gets it to fall. As Harrison, can he get his first 3 of the night? He does. Again, the sophomore Harrison, he averages 12 a game and leads his team in 3-point makes, so no surprise there. Was going to make one sooner or later as Hurd answers with a floater. And Portsmouth now leads by 8, 38-30. You see the frustration from the Classical side. Now Judas gets it back out to Buchanan. He'll try to reset this Classical offense. Harrison, corner 3. Short, no good. And here comes Hurd. The cross, skip pass to Lucenti. He goes with the right. Little out of control there. Probably could have gone with the left. It looked like Buchanan was going to let him take it. Didn't want to foul, but Lucenti with the extra movement can't get it to fall, and Harrison's 3 is no good. Ball tipped and saved. What a great play there. It looked like it was going to go out on Portsmouth, but Lucenti with a quick save. It looked like between the legs of the Classical defender, and Brady came up with it. Hurd kick out to Lucenti. He misfalls. This place will go down. No good. Rebound by Harrison. Much needed there for Classical, and this game is just moving so fast here as Harrison fires from deep and gets it to fall. Both teams willing to go toe-to-toe here and pick up the pace As we're under a minute left here in this fast-paced third quarter, Portsmouth leads by 5, 38-33. As we finally see Portsmouth slow it down a little bit here.
Yeah, and they've certainly learned in these past few possessions. Harrison not afraid at all to take that three-point shot. I think it might have been 4 possessions in a row that he took one. Goes 2 of 4, I believe, and gets Classical some big points as Brennan comes up with a huge steal.
As Brennan can't get his layup to fall. Might have been goaltending there as Buchanan slapped the backboard on the layup. It seemed as that was definitely goaltending. Hurd loses control in the offensive rebound and comes the other way. But again, another quarter with no fouls.
Definitely interesting to see what the call was there because, I mean, no debate that Buchanan slapped that backboard. You could see it reverberating after the fact. Maybe the officiating crew just deciding it didn't have enough of an impact on the shot.
Or thought that the ball might have bounced before the slap, but it looked like it was hand in hand as great find there from St. Frank to Yakun. Shot clock turned off, 10 seconds to go. This is only a 3-point game now in Portsmouth. 5 to go. Hurd skips through 2 defenders, goes up short with the left hand, can't get it to go, and that'll end the third quarter. Looked like he maybe had the right hand or shot off the glass, but tried to go up and under. You've seen him make that move a couple times, and boys, it's sweet, but can't get it to fall there. Portsmouth has a 3-point lead here, 38-35, as we head to the fourth quarter between the Patriots and the Purple. We'll be back for fourth quarter play here in a minute. And we are here at the Fieldhouse for fourth quarter play. It's Portsmouth trying to upset the Purple, up 3, 38-35 as we enter the last 8 minutes of this game. And as we were talking through the break, I don't think there was a single substitution in that quarter, and it just shows that these two teams are just ready to go toe-to-toe with their best 5 on the court.
I mean, yeah, both of those teams were running for most of the quarter. I'm surprised, as you said, to see no substitutions, but, you know, it hasn't really showed thus far. Nobody looks real tired out there. I think when you just have an intense game like this, you're just going to have guys giving it their all.
And Hurd's Eurostep, a little exaggerated, and a turnover to start this one in favor of the Purple as they try to tie this game up or bring within a point. Down 3 here in Portsmouth. Buchanan driving. You saw him wobbling on that knee going back to the huddle at the end of that third quarter, and
definitely looks like he's got some discomfort with that knee right now. Kind of limping back onto the court here. Looks like he's going to stay on.
And a 5-second call here. Del Judas couldn't find anyone. By the time he found Buchanan, it was too late. So, again, fourth quarter, so like the third, back-to-back turnovers. And that foul, by the way, that last question was on Benny Hurd. They call him the hand check. That's the first foul call of the second half. Brady's shot's no good. And here comes Buchanan. Again, as we mentioned, URI football commit, Gatorade Player of the Year, and an illegal screen on St. Frank, but Buchanan definitely a tough player and can do it on the hardwood as well as Downs can come in. It looks like for Brady. Oh, check that for Broderick.
Yeah, and even watching Buchanan now, I don't know, that he seems to have something bothering him with that knee. He was walking a little funny back up the court there, but, I'd be pretty surprised to see him come out at this point. It looks like he's going to tough it out.
Hurd's ball gets picked, and here comes Classical. And there's Hurd with the hustle on the way back. Love to see that from your senior captain as Hurd turns the ball over, and then on the fast break the way back, he makes up for it by getting his hand in there, stopping an easy basket.
Yeah, and it could be the nerves here to open the fourth quarter of a tight game, but we talked about before, no substitutions made in that third quarter. Both of these teams look pretty tired so far. Bunch of turnovers both ways to start this thing off.
And Brady gets the block there, and if I'm going to be honest, that looks like a foul on Brady. He might have got the hand on the back of his player he was defending. But again, we're seeing that both ways. They're letting things slide down low as Lucenti fires away from three and gets it to fall. A big tray ball for the Patriots to put him up 6, 41-35. The bench is loving it, and that's exactly what the Portsmouth Patriots needed to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, huge first points of that fourth quarter. Classical was turning the ball over a ton. Portsmouth was not able to capitalize. They needed something to fall eventually. That's just a huge three from one of Portsmouth's most important players there, Lucenti.
And a great stop there from the Patriots. Can they extend their 6-point lead? Downing with one of his famous pass fakes. Get Brady with the up and under. What a smooth move from Brady. Pump fakes the shot. It takes two large steps to the rack and finishes with the left, and Portsmouth up 8. Classical definitely on upset watch here as Buchanan fires from three and gets that one to go. Cold-blooded from Marquise Buchanan. It's now a 5-point game, 43-38 as we reach the 5-minute mark in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, huge shot there by Buchanan to just snatch some of the momentum right back. You can hear it here. Things quieted down quite a bit after that one.
Lucenti tries to get one of his own, and Brennan hustling for it. What a play from the back corner. Brennan on the opposite side of the court races over, slaps the ball off of the Classical defender, and the ball will stay here with Portsmouth as number 3 Jordan Duke comes in for number 11 Elijah Nyakun.
Yeah, and coming off that game Monday, Portsmouth knows just a few plays here, few extra possessions there can make all the difference in a close loss. So in a game coming down to the wire like this, against a team like Classical, those little hustle plays like what we just saw from Brennan are going to be huge.
Hurd driving. This is it to Downing. He goes up. Can't get it to go. The tip to himself. Hurd retains possession. And Portsmouth won't let go of this basketball. And Lucenti wants it all to himself. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Floater from behind the backboard, no good. It will be a shot clock violation. That's just great defense there by Del Judas there. Shot clock winding down. Lucenti wanted to call his own number. Yeah. And Del Judas was all over that one.
Bunch of loose balls on that possession. It was good defense against Lucenti there. Portsmouth just looked a little out of control on that possession. Hopefully, coming off of that, the emotion from that save by Brennan, they can sort of slow things down here and regroup.
Halfway through this fourth quarter of play, Portsmouth up 43-38. There's St. Franck from downtown. His three won't fall. Duke is blocked in the back by Brennan. And going on the floor for that is Lucenti, and Downing up court to Brennan. The lefty layup, and again with the backboard slap. They're not going to call it. And that's definitely frustrating. If you're a Portsmouth fan, you can hear the crowd behind us.
The first one was certainly questionable. That one looked pretty clear.
That was egregious as Brennan seemed to have the layup there, and the backboard really shook on that one as Portsmouth will take a timeout.
And you see Coach Joe Ochi, he's real curious to see what the call is here. He wants an explanation. I mean, 4 points in a game like this could be quite the swing here for Portsmouth. I mean, I think that's definitely, win or lose, that's going to be something we're talking about after this game.
Yeah, definitely. And the Patriots, they found themselves up 5. The ball will stay with Classical, 3:25 to go. And one thing you don't want to see from this Portsmouth team, which we've seen little glimpses here and there of, is when they have a lead, clock winding down, they don't play the same. They play a little conservative. They tend to hold on to the ball, lengthen possessions. If you're Portsmouth, you're going against the best team in Division I, you got to not be afraid to score, right? Because you can't try to shut them out here with 3:25 to go. You can try. Portsmouth has held teams to great lengths to no scoring, like Smithfield. They held them to 1 field goal in the last 4 minutes. But, I mean, this is the best team in Division I. They're going to start hitting shots. That's what they do down the stretch. And Portsmouth's got to find something on offense and try to get to 50 points if they want to secure a victory, because if they try to play conservative and draw out these possessions, we've seen them to take not the best type of shots and definitely favors the other team.
And, I mean, another piece there for Portsmouth, we saw this last game against Hendricken. Really Hurd and Lucente have always been their guys offensively. Hendricken recognized that. They started to send a ton of pressure at them. Portsmouth is going to need some of their other guys to step up and add to the offensive production late here.
In the second half, it's definitely been Brady with a couple baskets here and there for the Patriots, but who will step up in the final 3 minutes of play here between Classical and Portsmouth? Buchanan, his 3 is no good, but one of the reasons was he was fouled by Hurd, so now sent him to line to shoot 3. Definitely not ideal. Stops the clock and gives Classical 3 easy looks.
You could hear the slap on that one. Definitely the right call, but, frustrating from Hurd as tried to get his hand out of there quickly. 3 big free throws here from Buchanan.
As he makes the first again, no substitutions really. We've seen 6 players get action here in this second half. We've seen Rollins come off the bench for Brady and Downing, and for Classical, you've seen Jordan Duke get some playing time for Elijah and Yakun, but that's about it. These two teams, it's going to come down who has more in the tank and who's willing to put more on the line here, as the third free throw from Buchanan is no good, so he goes 2 for 3. Tall rebound by St. Frank, as he goes up with the right hand, can't get it to go, tip out, rebound by Hurd. So, good defense there by Hurd. And Hurd trying to go behind the back around Buchanan, trying to plead his case, but nonetheless, it will go down as a turnover and Classical ball.
Mario Ochi, he's very upset with that call. He's going to need to be a little careful here, but I don't know. From here, it looks like that one could have gone off Hurd, but obviously they've got the better view there at the back.
Harrison fires from 3 and ties this game up. A big-time 3-ball for Classical. And here we are, just like we were on Monday against Hendricken. Tie ball game late, under 3 to go.
Yeah, and I mean, for Portsmouth, you can see a couple of those calls go their way. You've got a layup for Brennan. You've got the Patriots maintaining possession there, but instead, quick 5-0 run from Classical to tie this game.
Hurd going strong to the lane, no good, but gets his own rebound. Finds Lucente. Pump fakes. The Patriots have a full shot clock, so I think they'll try to set something up here. Is Downing, crosses over, gets baseline, and that's an easy call there. Looked like St. Frank got his arms around Downing, and that's what the call will be. As it looks like Robertson checking in for the Patriots. He will come in for Jack Downing, the senior. So 2:10 to go. Portsmouth and Classical are tied here, 43-43. Portsmouth has possession. Let's see Brennan or Brady here step up for the Patriots, as it's been a lot of Hurd and Lucente. Under 2 to go. Hurd goes strong, and another hand check call, so starting to let some calls come out late in this one.
Yeah, Portsmouth might be closing in on that bonus here. A couple fouls on, they're going to call Buchanan on that one. I was thinking it might have been on St. Frank, who would have been, starting to get into some foul trouble here.
They try to get an inbounds play to Lucente in the corner, but St. Frank was all over that one, so they'll reset the offense. As Hurd fires from way deep. Looks good from our angle, just short, and a long possession from Portsmouth. It probably took a minute and 15 off the clock. They had a couple offensive rebounds and a couple fouls there. So under a minute 30 to go. We are in crunch time here at the Fieldhouse in Portsmouth. Duke from corner. Can't get that to fall, and that would have been a big shot for Duke as Lucente pushes the pace. But no look pass to Roderick, he pump fakes, goes up, and it's blocked off the backboard by St. Franck. The Judas up court, goes up with the right hand and gets it to go. A 7-0 run for Classical has put them in the lead by 2 as we hit the 1 minute mark left here in this ball game. Vicente driving, and as I get the call there on the push, definitely Vicente got a little bit of contact on the way up. He'll go to the line to try to tie this one up, and he will shoot 2.
Yeah, definitely a huge call. I mean, Portsmouth in desperate need of points right now. I thought Roderick did the right thing on that fast break. Looked like it was going to be a tough play to make it the basket there, but I mean, we talked about the length from St. Franck before. I'm not sure another player on the court would have been able to make that chase down block.
So Vicente converts, and if you're Portsmouth and you can make this, it's kind of ideal. Get a 2-for-1 action. Waiting for the shot from Vicente, and that will fall. So a 30-second timeout from Portsmouth. We'll stay with you here as the game's tied up at 45 with 56.3 seconds to go. So for Classical, they can't hold to the last shot. There's still a 21-second difference between shot and game clock. Now, will we see Classical try to score before that 35-second mark and make Portsmouth shoot before the buzzer? We'll have to see, but definitely a lot of options in play for Classical. They want to do a quick set play, find a quick look, and depend on their defense to get a stop and then try to get a last-second shot. Or will they wait the clock out, use as much time as possible, get the best shot they can take, and then leave the rest in of the Portsmouth offense?
Yeah, Classical has a lot of momentum here, especially offensively. So I have a feeling they're just going to try and go quick here, not really question themselves, just get right to the basket. And I mean, Portsmouth, they haven't gotten a field goal in quite some time, so I'm not sure how worried Classical is at this point of giving the ball back to the Patriots.
So it looks like Del Juice will take it from under the hoop. Check that, St. Franck will take it out under the hoop and likely pass to Del Judas to start this minute of mayhem here in Portsmouth as the number 1 Classical Purple are in a tough one here with the 4-5 Portsmouth Patriots. Buchanan. Tough setback jumper on Hurd and gets it to fall. 38 seconds on the clock. It's about 3.5, 4 seconds. Separate shot and game clock, and what a tough jump shot by Buchanan there as Hurd finds Vicente for the lead. No good. Rebound by Harrison. He finds Del Judas up court, and he's just going to jog for the layup and take it. 18 seconds to go. Portsmouth down 4. They're going to need something quick. Vicente pump fake. Has an open look for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Roderick. Turns around, goes up. Looks like he was fouled there. No good. And Classical's going to get the rebound. It looks like they're going to close this one out here. 2.5 seconds go. The Purple up 4.
Yeah, and I mean, looks like it's going to be another heartbreaker for Portsmouth, but a couple of questionable calls there. It looks like there was a lot of contact on Roderick's, but prior to that, when Classical had gotten the rebound, it looks like Portsmouth clearly had intentionally fouled there before he threw the breakout pass for the eventual layup, but regardless, as we're going to have one more foul here by Brady, but with 1.1 to go, looks like Classical is going to be able to walk out of here with a hard-fought win.
And that will do it tonight. Portsmouth unable to score a field goal in the final minutes there, and it's been a common theme in the last couple games, and 2 great ones against great competition in Henderson and Classical. Some of you that you look back at them and say you definitely could have won those, but nonetheless, Portsmouth will take the loss here against Classical. They put up a good fight, but could not complete the upset. Classical take the victory, 49-45. I'm Gavin Bisho alongside Dan Shea. Special thanks to Mr. Ryan, Mr. Costa, Mac Dunn, Logan West, Mike Gordon, and Andrew Lopes. That'll do it from the Fieldhouse. Classical wins by 4, 49-45. Thanks for watching, and take care now.